Hello everyone! Today we are going to take a... Actually, we're not going to take a look at. We are going to beat Super Burnout for the Atari Jaguar. We're going to use all the default settings and choose the Wheels of Terror bike here and run through an entire championship season. Now, in my opinion, this is the best game you can get on the Atari Jaguar. The graphics are amazing, the music is amazing, the gameplay is amazing, works well with the Jaguar's somewhat odd controller. It's just a good old school classic retro game. So we're starting here, which I wasn't paying attention, possibly America. And this bike is actually not that good on this track. This is a high speed, low grip bike, and on these first two tracks I believe it's not going to work well at all. Here we see me hitting the dirt there, which isn't going to be very good at all. And there we run into the guy in back of us. But let's kind of talk about the game a little bit. So what we see here is me trying to line up my turns here, because the idea... And I paused it. And we're back. So the idea is you can really cheat the game. The grip versus how fast you go through a turn ratio. The faster you're going, you don't slide more. It's kind of a weird thing to try and explain. So really to be successful at this game, you have to A, memorize every track, and then B, use the game against itself. So this is a nice slow turn that the bike's not going to have any problems, but here we see again, I pull to the right too late and hit the grass, and if you look in the top center of the screen, we can see the front of the pack is driving away. I have just two bikes behind me. So here, the hills on this, the scaling, this is such a beautiful game. Such an underrated game. I don't think it's really... Hit the grass again. I don't think the game really got any respect until maybe the last year or two. It was really overlooked at the time. It came out in 1995. It was on the Jag, which didn't help, but it came out in 1995, which I believe is the same year Ridge Racer, Sega Rally, Daytona came out, and those games were really revolutionary at the time, where this is probably... If this would have come out as a launch title on the Jag in 1993, it probably would have been a lot more impressive. So anyway, we retake fourth, and we actually see third place up ahead of us. So we actually had a strong lap there. So I was talking about racing games of 1995, but let's see, we're in fourth place, hit a decent lap, and I just smoked the dirt there. So something cool that we're seeing right now is the lights on the bike turned on, and if you notice the background now, it's getting darker, the sky's getting darker, and the lights are turning on in the building in the background, which is really sweet. We can see here that the headlight is actually transparent right there, which is another neat effect. This is truly a game that couldn't have been done on the Super Nintendo or the Genesis. I mean, the sheer amount of sprites we see here being scaled in real time is just absolutely outstanding. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear the music real well. Here's clear voice samples there. Appears to be a French accent, if memory serves me correct. It was essentially done by like three college students in France who got a hold of a Jaguar development kit. So here I've done quite poor this race. The last lap wasn't too bad. It looks like a 38.7, but as we can see, I'm in fifth place, and fourth is looking pretty far away. It's not a good track for this bike, though. There's long straights for sure, but the turns are just a little too tight for this bike. And there, I just hit the dirt on the opposite side, going into the turn too deep. And that's going to conclude America with a 43.0, which is terrible. Alright, so we got fifth place, and we'll move on to... Looks like that 38.7 was the fastest I've ever done on this cartridge. And don't know why I put IPA. I think I wanted to put IPM, but got a little greedy. Here's Australia. This is actually also not a good course for this bike, again with the low grip. But that's one of the sacrifices you have to make. You either pick a high grip bike or a low grip bike or somewhere in between and try to make it through the championship. So I certainly don't have enough skill to win every race, and I'm not sure if you can with any of these bikes, but This is such a really cool track, especially if you have a bike that's not this one, because if you do it right, you can, oh man, if you do it right, you can, I believe, get through the entire race with no brakes and almost no letting off with one of the high grip bikes. So we, after landing on our face, we are down to 7th, but moving through the pack. I'm actually quite familiar with this course, so even, man, playing a little sloppy here. I think this was the 3rd or 4th time trying to play through to gather all the footage needed for the Super Burnout video review that I did, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. So I just kept playing through it over and over and over to try and get the best footage I could. So already we see we're in 4th. Saw a glimpse of 3rd there for a moment, so we're hanging up with the front bikes. It looks like, yeah, that bike on the inside there really put me at a bad spot there. But here, there we go. See how quick I turned in there? That's what you have to do in this game. Looks like I could have done it just a touch better too. So, gonna go ahead and start lap 3 here. This is the hardest part of the track, this left right there, because it's a quick right and then left. And it looks like there I just got it perfect. If you hit the bumps, the curbs, I guess they would be called, you don't actually lose speed. And kind of like real racing, hitting the curb is very important. It's the shortest line around the track. So in that respect, this game actually is somewhat realistic. So there we go. Ride the curb on the left, and oh, I have to let off the gas here, as you can see the speed drop down. But 2nd is in our sights after that horrific opener. So 2 laps. Let's see if we can catch 1st or hang on to 2nd. Not have an epic fail on the last lap like we did in the last race. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get 1st. Looks like I'm going to have to fight back to get 2nd place, actually. Look at that beautiful moon. So unlike the previous track, there is doesn't look like any daylight shifting on this course, but there we go. We get 2nd place back with just 1 turn to go. There we go. Got 2nd, final turn. And that wasn't the final lap. How embarrassing. Alright, so can we get 1st on the final lap? Looks like we made it through that turn just right. It's the 5th lap. It should be my best lap. I should have learned something from the previous 4 and have some muscle memory going on here. And I got quiet. I'm very excited to see what I do here. So it looks like we're having a strong run, but with just the 1 turn to go, it does not look like we're going to get the 1st. But just like I figured, that was the best lap, 36.74. So a fairly good run, going from 7th to 2nd. Can't argue with that. Didn't set any best records on this course. I don't think you can do it with this bike, but it's a strong showing. So let's go ahead and move on to Brazil. I want to say this is, I probably have a video up of this track. I want to say this was done in the Atari Age High Score Club or High Score Challenge. So it should be another course that I should be able to do fairly well on. Just look at the way everything whips around. This, I just absolutely love the graphics in this game. It's so much different than like Super Hang-On on the Genesis. Just the way the hills go, how far you can see in the distance, the scaling, obviously, the sheer number of sprites on the road. I think the video skipped there, but we are in 3rd place. So those turns right there, we'll have to talk about it the next time around. So right there's a right that you don't even have to go right on. You just hold it left and the game will kind of work itself through. So there I get a little out of shape. And we're going to have a lot of switching back and forth coming up, which is the hardest part of the course and probably the hardest stretch of the game here to get all of this right. And this part right here you have to nail, because all of these turns you need to be able to carry your momentum without letting off the gas. Oh, that's so close. That's how you got to do it though. So we're carrying a good amount of speed here into lap 3. Here's that right you don't have to take, just hold left. And that's what I mean about cheating the game. Just because obviously it's not a 3D game, so 3D is all simulated with sprites, so there's things to exploit. So here, yep, looks like I hit the dirt. You really have to get your entries perfect there. Right there, spot on. Get my left going. Looks like I had to let off a little bit. So, oop. So I try to cut him off, even though there's no real point there. But 2 laps to go. We're in second place, but it looks like first is starting to pull away from us. We are pulling away from third on that last stretch, and that's just because this bike has so much speed. There's first place we saw in the distance there just a little bit. Hit the dirt. Get the right. Perfect right there. Oh, and I switched left too fast. So we're going to enter this way too slow. As you see there, we don't even come close to hitting the dirt on the outside, and that's because we've lost so much momentum. So we really didn't hold our momentum that we needed to. But might be able to get enough speed on this final stretch. See, we see him up there, just not quite enough. Oh, just missed the dirt there. So it's really going to come down to this final stretch. Hit the dirt like I did every other time. And that seals it. We're going to get second. And actually, looking at the map, it looks like third is catching us. So we went from seeing first place to having to fend off third. Pretty consistent laps, though. 31.8, 31.8, 31.7. Can't argue with that. And we take a second for the second time in a row, which is pretty good. All right, we're coming up to Canada. There we go, IPG, Implant Games, not IPA. So I assume I'm using the same bike that I used to set this record. This course, I don't believe, has been on the Atari Jaguar High Score Challenge, so we may be able to set a best time here. Now, this is an awesome course. This turns a little too much for this bike, though, but let's see. Oh, fifth, fourth. Whole lot of action right there. Now, I do win some races. I'm not sure which ones. It's been a long time since I recorded this footage, but this is a tough one. This right there. And look at that. Slow down to 70 miles an hour. You really have to get your turn in early on that one. And look at this. Just flat out. Slight right. Straightening out. Let's see. Oh, looks like we made it through absolutely perfect. Hit the dirt again. I don't know why I got so wide right there. It seemed pretty dumb. But we reclaim second. And we should have a hard right coming up right here. Let's see if I can get it. Ooh, oh, I hit the dirt and went down to 70 again. And when I'm running hot laps trying to memorize these courses, you really have to memorize brake points and then acceleration points. Looks like we did set a record, though, 35.4. That's perfect, right there. We saw first in our sights there for a moment. I want to see myself move to the right here. I don't know why. I guess it doesn't matter. This is what matters. And see, we didn't hit the dirt there, so we didn't drop down into the 70s, and now we see third place isn't harassing us. So that's the difference. So a long stretch here. I think we should see first by the end of this straight, which we do. Set another record, 34.9. Very good. Hit that turn just perfect. And if we can get that final turn down, we actually might have a shot to win this. Still have 2 laps to go. There's first place again this turn. Come on. That time we stayed in the 90s, so we should set another lap record here. And we can already see first place. Oh yeah, 34.5. So that's what saving 10, I guess, yeah, miles per hour in a turn will do. That bought me 3/10 compared to the last lap. Almost, no, a full 4/10. So we are in second, and if we can do that kind of lap again, I think we should be able to win. All right, so we take the lead for the first time. Oh, good, he ran into the back of us, which, that should seal it. That should be a win. I'm faster in the straights, and there we go. Another record, first place. Real strong finish there. So I set a personal best on this track. as well. So let's see if I do IPA or IPG. And looks like we got it right this time. So I enter my initials. We listen to that beautiful 80s background music. And at this point I must be, I don't know, getting a beer, getting a glass of water. I'm not really sure. Ah, there we are. I thought I cut some of those parts out, but I guess not. Alright, so we're moving on to France. And looks like best lap 53.61. And the game is loading, even though it's a cartridge. So because we got first, we get to start on the pole, but I probably... Some good music here. Again, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but... Alrighty, so we got past. Long stretch here. Now, if you look at the map here, again, we're going to have that tight turn problem, so I'm not certain how well I'm going to do. Got lucky there that he ran into the back of me. Got around me anyway. Just lots of... Very interesting course. Very straight. And some guy just got flown off his bike. Moving down to fourth. We're clearly slowing up the pack on those tight turns. Hit the dirt there, but that actually looked pretty good. And I'm just holding in right to try and set up for the next turn. Looks like I hit that just right as well. As you can see, I was going really fast, but the track went faster than the grip, so we were all right. Here I'm losing speed as I go up the hill, which is also fairly interesting, is that the game is so well thought out and designed that when you're going uphill, you can actually see the speed drop. Oh, and off we go. Again, this just is not... I don't know what bike would be good for this course. You have so many straights and so many incredibly tight turns. And we've got a low grip bike, which makes it even more... Oh, man. So we're off the bike twice in one lap. I don't know if we're going to salvage this. This bike is just terrible for this course. Hit the dirt a little bit. Didn't seem to impact us too bad. Hug the right. See? Missed the dirt. Spot on. 3 to go. Alright, so watch the speed go down as we go uphill. You see that? And then watch it go down as I hit the dirt. I like how the pavement, what we just saw, there's patches of like repairs on the ground. Man, just whack that wall again. It looks like on this track, 6th and 7th are pretty far back there. Unless I keep hitting the wall, we should be able to just hold our 5th. Not even... Man. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I think I'm trying too hard. Make the bike do something it wasn't meant to do. This is a bad... It's kind of like the first... It's kind of like America. Just not suited for Wheels of Terror. So there I get that turn exactly right. 2 to go. And our opening lap where we start from a stop is our fastest lap time. Oh, and scrub the dirt again on that one. Even the chain link fence that we see on the side there looks pretty good for its age. But obviously the tire barriers look amazing. Trees look a little Mario 64-esque, but they're alright. Scaling nicely. Multiple layers in the background. Yeah, 2 layers maybe. Background and then the sky. Again, on this track, we're not seeing any of the daylight changes, but we are seeing a lot of different track elevations, which is pretty sweet. Grandstands look good too. So there we go. We just shaved 5 seconds off our lap time, and we're catching up to 4th. Actually, looks like we have a whole... yeah, all 4 of them are right in front of us. I wish I wouldn't have run into 4th place. So we're going to steal 4th place, which I wasn't anticipating. That guy gets to fall off his bike instead of me, which is helpful. And let's see if we can hang on to 4th here and salvage something out of what I thought was just a lost race. So I'm gotta think I'm gonna be just a little extra conservative here. And not try and fall off, because I don't think we're gonna get another 41-second lap, but... And we can see 5th, yep, there we go. So it looks like we maintained 4th place. So a pretty poor, inconsistent performance there. As we can see, the bike's capable of doing 51s, and it looks like that's the best I've ever done. So next time I play this, I'll have to mark this down as a race that's at least top 3-able. Possibly winnable with 51s, hard to say. Alright, so let's move on to Germany? Germany. Oh, this is probably my favorite course in the whole game. The way this course flows together is just absolutely amazing. Like the background checkered pattern there. We're probably hanging on to that screen longer than we need to for, I don't know, I thought I needed to use it in a review video. I tend to let stuff like that hang on for a while, just in case I want to use it in a video rather than racing through it so fast. Alright, so we will start 4th, which is nice, and look at this track. Nice elevation changes. Gonna have a switchback here, or I guess an S. More elevation changes, some thick woods there. Real tight uphill corner. Missed the grass. Some awesome 80s music in the background. Look at that. Oh, just gorgeous. This is a tough turn. Oh, and I got through it. Look at the way it just switches back and forth. So this is the final turn. Looks like I was a little too slow for the AI, but we're in 2nd place. So 4th to 2nd, 4 laps to go. It's just breathtaking, the speed of this game. It's so fast it looks like things are transparent because of the interlacing artifacts. Just absolutely gorgeous. Even the buildings on the side, the grandstands there look pretty awesome as well. And then if you caught that, when you go through the grandstands, you can hear a light crowd noise. So we messed up that final turn again. And that, yeah, 40-0, it's definitely beatable. So right here, left, right, hold the right, because we need to go right there. Looks like I did a pretty good job there. Just missed the dirt, which is exactly correct. That line of trees. This right here, because we kind of have to let up. Oh, we got first. This is huge right there. All right, it looks like he's just going to push me into the lead, which is super helpful. And probably, look at that, 38.51. Not even a record, but he clearly gave me a pretty nice boost in speed there. Yeah, I just keep getting hit, so that means I'm on the AI's line. This is it. Get it right. Oh yeah, totally got it right. He's not even close to us. 37.3. So we're still getting faster. Yeah, like it's just my favorite course. The way it flows is just absolutely amazing. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to set a lap record for our 5th and final lap here. So yeah, it's definitely, although it looks like Hang On or Super Hang On in screenshots, this is really a game of its own. It's definitely a racetrack game. Yeah, so already we're not even close. So there we go. 1st place. Looks like 2nd place was immediately behind us. Did not set a lap record there, or an average record for that matter. And we shall move on to Hungary? Hungary. Perfect. This should be, if memory serves me correct, a rather strong track for this bike. As we can kind of see from the layout there, there's none of those incredibly tight turns. So I think we should be able to do well here. This is another strong track. A lot of switching back, as you can see on the map. So I'm going to take the inside line right away and see if we can hang on to first position. And here, another track that just flows so well. Let's see if usually the first lap I mess up because I don't quite have it all memorized. Like there, obviously, going left when I needed to be going right was pretty dumb, and I'm paying for it with 4th place. And we're back up to 2nd. These S's right here, just back and forth. Just awesome. So we did get 1st place back just like that. Now this next turn right here is so important because you have such a long straightaway. And we hit the dirt, and I expect to get past. It is downhill though, so it doesn't look like it was bad as I thought it was. So there we get it just right again. And that's what this game is all about. I mean, it's a lot like real racing, but it's not very realistic. But being able to maintain speed in corners is absolutely critical. Like, don't brake in the middle of the corner, and you have to brake beforehand so it doesn't spit you out into the tires. So there's a lot of memorization and a lot of practice. So if you're not a big fan of simulators or simulation type games, you probably won't like this. But if you're really into like Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo, or I think it's MotoGP, those ultra realistic series, you'll probably really get a kick out of this. So we're maintaining our 1st place. It doesn't really look, it actually looks like I'm pulling away from him. I don't find this course terribly hard. So we know we have a left coming up and then a hard right, so I'd like to see myself, hitting that right. There we go. So now I should be able to just maintain speed through many, many turns here. And you see how quickly I'm shifting to the other side in anticipation of the next turn. Oop, hit the dirt, down to 70. But again, 2nd place is so far back there. Yeah, 7th place is just miles behind. Looks like we got some mountains in the background. I'm starting to lose it. I'm not sure what else to say about this game, really. There's a handful of bikes. There is a code for, I can't remember the name of it, but essentially a bike that has super high grip, super high acceleration, super high speed, and it completely sucks the fun straight out of the game. Austin, the co-host on the podcast, when he runs the Atari Jaguar High Score Club competition challenge thing, and he usually has us pick that bike as the bike for the track, where I prefer us to have to use a stock bike, and you'd have to spend a little bit of time figuring out which bike is the best bike for the course. Plus it just makes it a little more hard. Because when you use the cheater bike, I mean, you don't really have to brake very much. You really don't have to do anything very much, versus using one of these bikes, there's a lot more skill involved, and it really separates people. I think we cheated the game out of slowing me down when hitting the dirt there. So it looks like 2nd place is doing a good job hanging on to me. But yeah, this game used to be incredibly cheap. I probably picked mine up brand new, free shipping on eBay, still in its original seal for $13 or so. And I don't know what's happened over the last couple of years, but this game is finally getting, some credit, some kudos, some praise. It's now mentioned in a lot of people's top Jaguar games list, so the supply seems to have dried up. And if you want to get it now, you're probably looking to spend between $25 and $35. $25 or so for a used, $35 for a sealed. So really happy I picked this up when I did, and maybe I had some small part in its popularity. I know I've hyped it up every single chance I've ever gotten, so I think we're moving on to the final race, gentlemen and ladies, if you're listening. On to Japan. This is a pretty technically challenging course, and I think we're going to see a lot of variation in my lap times. If you can do it just right, it's very, very rewarding, but it also punishes you severely for making mistakes. This is also a fairly unique looking course. The backgrounds seem to have a different feel. The trees are obviously different than any other course in the game. As we can see here, not hitting dirt's going to be huge. I think we just drove under a blimp, which is kind of cool. I'm not certain if I've ever noticed that before. So there we are, just dragging through the grass all the way through the turn. Absolutely horrid. There's that blimp again. You see that? So we saw it while we were going, I don't know, we'll just say south, and then we saw it again going north, like it has some sort of 3D coordinates or something. So that corner we just went through is huge, because again, sets you up for a really long straight. Just kind of goes for any race course in any game that uses real racetracks. I know I do go-karting in real life, and the final turn leading into the straight is such a huge turn. That's, if you get it wrong, you're just gonna, you've lost all your momentum, and you're gonna be slowing the straightaway. So here it looks like a fairly, man, just right through the grass again. The thing is, this third or fourth playthrough, I should know all these tracks, but you kind of get some of the turns mixed up a little bit. So I'm not always setting myself up as good as I need to. So that right there, I think, is going to cost me the lead. I keep messing up that final turn, and I think at some point the game's going to make me pay for it. So it looks like I got my head. Nope, still hitting that. I don't know if I win this or not. Oof. Let's look for the blimp. There it is, and we'll see it going back. Exactly where it should be if this was actually 3D. Man, what am I doing there? So don't do that. You won't always be able to stay in the lead. There it is. That's so cool. I've really never noticed that before. I'm thoroughly impressed. Final turn, hit the grass, and at some point that AI's got to sneak past me. Oop, looks like it ran into me there, so we got lucky. 2 laps to go, 3. Yeah, 2 laps to go. So yeah, I think at this point I'm just getting tired. I look sloppy. I mean, there's no reason to hit the grass there. Just absolutely no reason, not even in this bike. So we finally concede first place. And looking how fast we caught up to him there, it looks like he's got a high grip, low speed bike. Look at that, hit the grass again. Ooh, there's that final turn. So at this point, first place is pulling away pretty good. Final lap of this Let's Play. I think I've said everything I want to say. I'm not sure if, hopefully I've explained kind of well enough or demonstrated well enough how to be successful at this game. Really is the best game in the Jaguar library, and it's really just an awesome 2D racing game compared to any platform, whether that be exotic arcade hardware, the Neo Geo, Genesis, I mean anything. This is just, of this type of game, the behind the view line scrolling racer, there's nothing beats it. I mean, I wish EA put this kind of love into their Road Rash series, which hasn't aged as well as this game. So definitely be sure to pick it up. Very strong game. I think I'm going to rob you of the end credits here because I had already recorded them on the previous run. And I think we'll get to see at least how I did. And this was actually my best championship as a whole. I know a couple of those races didn't look pretty, but it's tough to string them all together with just one bike. So we got a 5th, a 2nd, another 2nd, a 1st, a 4th, a 1st, a 1st, and a 2nd. So that's pretty consistent. A bunch of 1sts, a couple 2nds, 4th and a 5th, 135 points, rank B. And that's going to do it. Please like the video if you've subscribed to my content, and leave a comment below what you think of Super Burnout.